Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Just Plain Living. I'm John Gray.
And I'm Jim Fuller.
Hey, Mr. Fuller.
I'm filling in for Peggy today, at least.
Peggy's going to be here.
Yeah,
She's a little bit late. She
right.
had something she had to do at 9 o'clock, so she'll be in here in a little while. She'll come in like a force.
That's right. That's right. You know, it's always nice to be back, though, occasionally, because I get to watch Julia try to get us up and ready to do this show. And I'm wondering, and we should ask her, I guess, but if she's having to work a lot harder at that than she did 20 years ago.
No.
Now you think
She's crazy.
Yeah, she's crazy. Yeah, that's true.
Crazy.
And that
She's
helps.
crazy. She'll stay crazy. We love her for being that way.
Yeah, we do. We do. She does a good job. You know,
well, Julia's one of those people that is. I don't know. It just seems like to me she's always seems to be energetic.
Yeah.
And has a good frame of mind.
Right.
And I mean, she lives with Pete.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, how can you not? How can you? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's the reason she's the way she is here, because she lives with Pete.
Of course, we don't see Julia. We don't see Julia till she gets into the studio, so we have no idea what she might have drank before she got
No.
here. So you know.
Julia's happy when she knows that there's a date in the future, not too far, where she can go somewhere and gamble.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true.
Send her to Vegas.
Yeah, exactly.
You won't keep Julia happy. About every 6 months, send her to Vegas.
Exactly. Exactly.
All is well.
You think there's a lot of people out there today and that are confused? There probably are a lot of people that are confused because Monday was a holiday. They're at work now and it's Tuesday, and they'll be thinking all day it's still Monday, probably, you know. So
I had of course, Fran's mother passed away,
right.
And we had a visitation on Wednesday and a funeral on Thursday. And then it was Friday, and we had to go to Nashville to see some doctors. And I don't know, I was a day behind.
Yeah.
And I couldn't make it figure out. It just didn't work.
Right. You know, and the older you get, the harder it is to adjust to these kind of things.
Well,
and when you're younger, you just don't care.
Yeah, no, it doesn't make any difference. I have days now. A lot of my life, I was up at 4 o'clock in the morning because I worked a lot in Nashville.
Yeah.
To get to a job site by 7, I'd have to leave here by 5:15.
Yeah.
And so I was up early, and then of course when we worked at the Legion, you know, we both worked two to three jobs, and you'd be up at the Legion till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, then you'd have to be at work somewhere at 7.
Right.
Or 8. Now, the way my life is, there are some days that I can sleep.
But probably can't.
And you know, like Wednesday, we do this show today and other shows, and Monday and Tuesday are usually busy days for us.
Yeah.
And Wednesday, unless we have a shoot scheduled, you know, Wednesday morning there's just not a whole lot going on.
Yeah.
And you know, I can sleep till maybe 9 o'clock or so if I can.
Right.
But guess what?
It doesn't happen.
That day that I can sleep, I'm up doing something at 5 o'clock in the morning. Why, I don't know.
I don't know. That's another characteristic of getting a little older, and that I don't think your body just it's going to wake up when it's programmed to wake up, no matter what happens, and no matter what time you went to bed, you're still going.
No, it doesn't make any difference.
Yeah. You know, in the early days when you were talking about when we were at the Legion, I can remember we were closed on Sunday, and
but you had bingo.
I did, but there was a time that we did not, and in those days, back when I was probably in my 30s or 40s, or maybe 30s, but I would sleep. I'd go home and go to sleep about 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock, and I might sleep till 4 o'clock Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You know, that ain't happening no more.
No,
you know, that
no, it doesn't happen. Your body won't do it. You know, Fran will say, "Let's go to bed early."
Yeah.
Well, if I go to bed at 9 o'clock, and I sleep 4 hours, and I wake up at 1 o'clock, 1:30 in the morning.
Exactly.
I'm awake.
Exactly.
Of course, I get a lot done then. You know, nighttime, what was it? Nighttime is the right time.
Right time. Yeah.
There's nothing happening, and you've had some sleep, your mind's fresh, and it's a real creative time for me.
Yeah.
Because there's no demands.
Right.
You know, you're by yourself and
Right.
you in the zone. You know, so
Right.
I can get a lot done in the middle of the night.
Right.
Then
Yeah.
I want to go to sleep about 5,
Yeah.
and I can't.
Yeah. So life just isn't fair.
Nah, it's not fair, but isn't it great? I'm just glad
Yeah.
to be here.
Yeah. Talking about writing, I assume you guys probably talked about Hunter Girl and her great showing in
Oh yeah,
American Idol last week.
Yeah, yeah. She's an exceptional young lady, and
Right. And you knew her from being here. I
she's
think.
been here. She's been on this show
Right,
2 or 3 times, and then we had her on South Jackson Goes Country 2 or 3 times.
Right.
Back, I don't know. She's what, 23 right now, I believe. Probably back when she was 16, 17,
Yeah.
something like that.
Right.
Peggy and I both knew right then she was a star.
Yeah.
But stars always don't get the opportunity.
Oh no, I'm really proud of her.
Oh, heavens, yes.
I thought she should have won it, but the other guy that did win it was very talented as well. But it was that Hunter.
His story was just a little bit more compelling
Yeah.
in that he was even scared to put his name in.
Exactly.
He didn't put his name in, his buddy did that works with him.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, and that's why he got involved with it. And the kid, he's just good.
He is very good and will go far. There's no question about that.
And she will too.
She will too. I don't think it makes a whole lot of difference, except whatever the prize money was. I think it's $1 million or $500,000 if you win
Well,
first.
the
but-
thing about it is, you know, you look at it and you think, okay, do you really want to win that?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Because if you win it, they contractually, you get a record deal, and those usually run, and I think it's with Disney.
Yeah.
Disney's very territorial about their stuff.
Yeah.
So that's 8 to 10 years you're tied up.
Right.
You're owned. And I don't know, I'm sure the folks that come in maybe, well, even in the top 10,
Yeah.
they're probably obligated to tour, do an American Idol tour all over the country
For a year.
Yeah.
A year. Yeah. So there's a.
But I'm sure they're getting paid for doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I thought Hunter Girl though had the whole package. She
does.
She had
She
the
does.
stage presence. She wasn't afraid or
No,
didn't appear to
heavens
be,
no.
and you know.
She's done it.
And
She's done it.
yeah, exactly.
And I'll tell you what, did I say something about this last week? I might have. I don't
I
know.
wasn't here,
You weren't
but-
here.
but,
My buddy Tim Daly, that's my writing partner and has been for years and years. Matter of fact, he had a band called Uncle Sideshow that played at the Legion, and
Mm-hmm. Right.
Judd Matheny was his manager.
Right.
And I met Tim probably 30 years ago, and we started writing. Matter of fact, we've got a song on everything that's on one of Uncle Sideshow's albums.
Uh-huh.
And we just became friends, and we can write together. Writing with someone, co-writing is a very difficult thing if the people in the room aren't of the same mindset.
Sure.
And you got to leave your attitude at the door. You know, you got to go in and realize that I'm not the only one here who knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
Listen, and sometimes that's hard for me to do. But Tim and I just have a really great relationship, and he plays at Tootsie's and played downtown for a long time, and now he's playing at the airport.
Yeah.
Tootsie's Airport, which he loves because downtown's crazy.
I bet.
It's insane,
Yeah.
downtown Nashville is. And out at the airport, he said, you know, John, they come in waiting on a plane or come in off a plane waiting for something else. They got money.
Right.
They're not broke.
Right.
They're not drunk.
Right.
And they sit and listen to the music. And he said he was playing, I guess it was last Sunday, and all of a sudden there's a big glass window in the concourses out there. You have to have a ticket to get down that concourse.
Yeah.
You know, with COVID and all the security and stuff,
Right.
you don't, unless you're going to get on a flight, you don't get to go down there. And big window that says Tootsie's painted on it, and he looks over there, and there's Hunter standing, because they had played together
Oh, really?
downtown. Yeah, she and Tim did some duets and stuff
Yeah.
at Tootsie's, and across the street from Tootsie's is Rippy's, and there's one guy owns 3 or 4 or 5 bars down there. And so those people get moved around, and he and Hunter had played together, and she was at the window, knocking on the window, waving at him,
Oh, cool.
and came inside and gave him a hug. And
Yeah.
she didn't have to do that.
Oh, no.
She's real. She's
Yeah.
a real, compassionate, wonderful young lady.
Yeah.
And she'll go a long way.
Yeah, I think she will.
A long
too.
way.
Well, I understand she has a deal opening for Alan Jackson already.
Does she?
Yeah, that's what I understand. Yeah.
And Luke Bryan will take care of her.
Yeah, I'd have to think he would.
He's in
yeah.
love with her. He was in love with her from day one.
Yeah, right.
So we're trying, of course, when she was in town over in Winchester, American Idol had every second of her day playing.
Oh, of course.
And what is that? What is it, ABC?
Yes.
Channel 2?
Yes.
Where all that took place? Yeah,
Right.
their cameras were there and
Right.
all that. But she got in touch with me and said as soon as she had an opportunity, she'd come by and see us.
Right.
So that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Tennessee baseball.
Tennessee baseball been ranked #1 in the country for I don't know 8 or 9 weeks, I think, and currently still are. They're 55-7, I think, on the season.
55-7.
They-
Now,
Right, and they won the Southeastern Conference tournament this past week.
and they were already the Southeastern
And they
Conference
won
champions.
champions. So, you'd have to consider them to be a big favorite going into the National Championship Series, which I think is World Series of
Yeah,
college baseball
yeah.
or something like that. So, and they have a phenomenal team. I've never seen a team quite like this. I mean, some of them have pitching, and pitching is huge in baseball.
Sure.
And but this team has the pitching and a lot of it.
They were talking about the bullpen because they pulled about 4 or 5 guys out of the bullpen the other day.
and started them and put them in different roles, and they have been playing, and I guess that's to get ready for the national tournament. So that they can play different roles if they need to. One guy out of the bullpen, I think his name is Ben Joyce, throws at 105 miles an hour. His fastball is consistently above 100, and he hit 105 on a number of occasions in one of his recent outings, and that's a record.
And
105.
Who is it? Beverly Bean.
Drew Beam.
Yeah, that's Beverly that cleaned teeth in this town, and her husband was a pharmacist?
Yeah, pharmacist, Wayne
Pharmacist,
Beam.
Wayne Bean.
Yeah.
Her grandson is on that team
Starter, and he's
as a sophomore, freshman.
Freshman.
So I mean, we got local stuff going on here.
Yeah, exactly.
So congratulations to them, and Alabama who?
Well, we're talking baseball, John.
You might have the football, but we got the
we're not talking
baseball.
about it. And a lot of that, a lot of the credit for that goes to the new coach. They got
Yes.
a relatively new coach. He's been there 3 or 4 years.
Young guy too.
Yeah, Vitello,
Good-looking
and
kid.
he's apparently knows his baseball and is able to
Evidently.
get build that team atmosphere and that locker room atmosphere, and
But one thing, and their offense, they can hit the ball. But one thing about their pitching, they said, is the bullpen doesn't get as much work as a lot of teams because their pitchers are good enough to go deep into the game.
Oh, absolutely. They've had
And that makes a whole lot of difference.
I think they've had a couple of complete games from their pitching staff this year, which is kind of unheard of these days. Used to quite common, But today, pitchers don't usually go the distance. They don't usually pitch all 9 innings.
Right.
And their hitters that you were talking about, they've hit over, I don't know what the exact total is. It's over 140 home runs as a team this year, which is unbelievable. And but their hitters, they hit in the clutch, and against a good pitcher, they may go a couple of innings, or they may go a couple of times around in the batting order and not get those hits. But they're just like major leaguers in the fact that once they've seen what a pitcher's got, they adjust.
Oh yeah.
And then and they're able to score a lot of runs.
About second or third time through, the batters are on it.
Yeah, and you see that all the time in Major League Baseball.
But they're all that good.
Yeah, and
except at 105 miles an hour.
Can you imagine that?
Hey,
most of them at 90, you have a problem.
I can't even see one at 90.
But
and real quick before we go to commercial break, what about the Wildcats?
Wildcats made the state tournament again.
Made the state tournament again. That senior class that's over there right now, and could have gone all the way. And people were hoping that we could have 2 state championships with one class.
Right.
That would have been something special.
But it says a lot for this class that's graduating this year. Is that I guess some of them will still be there next year. But
we've signed a lot of football players. I guarantee you there'll be a lot of baseball players.
Right, because a lot of those people off that championship football team are on this baseball team.
Baseball team. Sure enough.
So athletes.
So congratulations to the Tullahoma Wildcat staff and the baseball team.
Right.
And John Olive, the athletic director.
Absolutely.
So I guess with all that said, we're happy. It's happy time here in Tullahoma, Tennessee,
Absolutely.
folks. Sun shining. Everybody, I hope, was safe and sound after Memorial Day.
Yeah.
Bless our servants and soldiers who have given all they could give for our nation and our freedom. Right. So we're getting to get out of here. So we're going to get out of here. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
I got a tour and I saw all the things and I was so excited about them. Then she took me to the movie theater and it had red chairs. So this is a done deal and I like it.
We have so many activities here that you just can't keep up with them all. We have exercise, we have coloring, we have crafts.
It's charming, it's attractive, it's very comfortable. It was one of the best decisions of my life.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He does the work of 2 jobs, but only gets paid for one. He's tough enough to feed the man that gave him a lifetime of nourishment. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. That's right, no employee of the month bonus check here. This guy, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. Good luck finding a gym to train for that. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
I was skeptical about getting the COVID-19 vaccine. There are a lot of opinions being shared. But I had the chance to talk with my doctor about my concerns. He told me the vaccines are backed by decades of research, and that the vaccines are proven safe and effective. Now I'm protected and ready to put this pandemic behind us. Join the millions of Tennesseans who have decided to give COVID-19 vaccines a shot. Visit covid19.tn.gov to find an appointment today.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this yesterday was a Memorial Day, as we discussed, and last Friday we had a Memorial Day service at the Veterans Park, Caboose Park downtown, and Sandy Seaburn and the American Legion and the city did an outstanding job. Colonel Jeffrey Johnson was the speaker, and we're going to bring you some video right now from the Memorial Day celebration.
On behalf of the Tullahoma Board, Mayor, and all, I'd like to welcome you to our Memorial Day event here in Tullahoma. What a wonderful day, Sandy. Thank you for bringing the sunshine. This is welcome change for the last few days we've had. So this morning we have some special guests that I'd like to recognize. Starting off, I'd like to recognize our most honored guest, Tommy Gwynn. Tommy Gwynn's 103 years old. Welcome, Tommy. Congratulations on reaching such a milestone. We're proud of you. Proud to have you as a Tullahomian. Also, I'd like to welcome Mr. Eric Fraser. And Mr. Fraser here, I've not had an opportunity to shake his hand. Eric, good to see you this morning. Thank you for being here. And Dr. Elizabeth Taylor. Ms. Taylor was about to arrive just a few minutes ago. Has she? There you are. Welcome. Thank you for coming up from Atlanta this morning. Dr. Taylor's authored 2 books on Camp Forrest. In particular, was instrumental in the paper that we're going to be doing later for Russell Wolf. So anyway, thank you to those special guests that are here this morning. Also, we're doing special congratulations to the scholarship recipients that are here today. So best of luck to all of you and in your future, for sure, for you scholarship winners. It's nice to see the sunshine. After the last couple of days, it's particularly nice to see the sunshine. Sandy Seaburn, you were responsible for that. If so, thank you very much. I'll know who to ask next time we need sunshine. Well, I want to thank each of you for being here this morning. Particularly, I want to thank the Shady Grove Garden Club and all the supporting organizations that are making this possible. And once again, providing our community such a fitting place to do an event like this. A place for us to deliver on our promise to never forget and to promise to always remember those who've made the ultimate sacrifice, those who've given their lives to secure our nation's freedom. That freedom that we enjoy every day. Memorial Day is one of the most solemn days of remembrance of our nation's holidays. So we gather today to pay tribute to those who have served in the military, particularly those brave men and women who died, and reflect upon their sacrifice. So with that, on behalf of Tullahoma's 20,339 residents, I give you my thanks and respect to those families and those who have given their lives for freedom and appreciate their sacrifice as well as their loved ones. So at this time, all stand, and we have the rest of the program will be following. So at this time, we'll have the Leonard Hauser who will be doing the posting of the colors. I think it's under control here. Thank you. Forward, push! Company, halt! Present, arms!
Oh, say, can Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order, arms! About peace! Forward, on!
I am deeply honored and humbled to be among my fellow Americans as we commemorate this Memorial Day. Although I must admit, my heart is weighty as we gather here. Be advised, nothing I can say that is so profound that will leave a long-lasting impression nor describe adequately the emotions that Memorial Day means to hundreds of families who remember their killed or missing in action. Utterance of words on this occasion is really ineffective, where silence and heartfelt reflection and reverence is actually a better proposition. I must say that we're under assault really by an ungrateful progressive set of individuals who embrace socialism and communism. They, and let me emphasize, they cannot fathom nor do they care about the costly price for our liberties, which is sad. More commonly, unless a family is directly impacted by a lost one to a military service individual, Memorial Day is just another 3-day holiday. But you know the importance of this weekend and what Monday actually means. Even military units across America are receiving safety briefs and given a 96-hour Liberty Pass with little to no ceremonial effort to honor our fallen. Believe me, I've been there and I've seen it. Note, some are even more worried about the time on their watch rather than grieving with the families who fulfilled their duties to their last breath and believed in their oaths. I pray that we don't, but if we can casually continue to walk forward with no sense of understanding of the cost of liberty and freedom, it will be lost forever. And it may have to be recaptured with a greater price tag. Today, I would like to articulate briefly that Memorial Day encapsulates 3 themes: love, promises kept, and a call to action. As I reflected on what I was going to say, I thought of my father. The year was 1967. I was 6 months old at the time. My father, a captain in the United States Marine Corps, was on patrol with his company, 2nd Battalion, 4th Marines, near Con Thien, Vietnam, during Operation Kingfisher. The monsoons had set in that day, and they were walking shin high in water as they came under heavy direct and indirect fire. Instantaneous chaos. Yet my father quickly moved to give leadership and direction to his Marines in order to lay down a base of fire and gain back the advantage. Yet, ultimately, an enemy mortar severely wounded my father's legs. Unable to walk, he was evacuated and sent to Japan for surgery and recovery. Several weeks later, he returned to Vietnam just in time for the Tet Offensive in 1968, where he spent several weeks at Khe Sanh during the siege. Ultimately, my father returned home having served his country while being witness to many wounded and killed Marines during his tours overseas. As he would unassumingly express years later, when I asked about his combat experience, he shared, quote, I had it easy. I have nothing to grumble about. But I owe my life to my fellow Marines, and they faced each day with courage and love for each other. I was most fortunate by real-life lessons taught to me by my father's physical as well as mental challenges. It developed a sense of deep adoration for this country and the men and women who wear the uniform of our armed services. As mentioned, I went on to serve myself in the Marine Corps for 25 years, yet others are not exposed to this reality and valuable education. You know, John 15:13 says, "Great love hath no man than this, that a man lay his life down for his friends." I would suggest that those lives that were cut short on the field of battle, they loved this country. They loved liberty. They loved the Constitution and fulfilled their oath to the end. This unwavering loyalty of love conquered evil at Yorktown, Chapultepec, Cuba, and Haiti. Love conquered evil at Belleau Wood, Normandy, and Guadalcanal. Love conquered evil at Pusan and the Chosin Reservoir in Hue City. And love conquered evil at Kuwait, Fallujah, and Kandahar. You know, at Arlington National Cemetery, right after the Civil War, the gentleman stood among 15,000 headstones to commemorate the first Decoration Day. And that was then Congressman James Garfield. He was a Civil War veteran. Actually, he was a lieutenant colonel during the Battle of Shiloh, which is not too far from here. And later, he became our 20th president. And as he stood there among veterans and fellow Americans, he said, quote, "We do not know one promise these men made, one pledge they gave, one word they spoke, but we do know they summed up and perfected by one supreme act the highest virtues of men and citizens. For love of country, they accepted death, and thus resolved all doubts and made immortal their patriotism and their virtue. For the noblest man that lives, there still remains conflict. He must still withstand the assaults of time and fortune, must still be assailed by temptations before which lofty natures have fallen. But with these, as he pointed to the headstones, the conflict ended. The victory was won. When death stamped on them the great seal of heroic character and closed a record which years can never blot. Ladies and gentlemen, love triumphs all and is more powerful than hate. Secondly, Memorial Day is a promise or a contract. America's victories on the battlefield mean that we, the people who are alive, have a blood-signed pledge to our fallen. Yes, those who didn't have the chance to get married, to see their children grow, to celebrate birthdays and anniversaries, to come home and eat Mama's cooking one more time, are owed by us our devotion and to give our best each and every day. Our pledge is to work hard and live our lives with honesty and integrity, to stand up for the Constitution and defend it with all we have, to safeguard our values as Americans. What are those values? You know, we casually exchange them every day. Just look at your currency. Out of many, one. United, is what this country represents, but there are a lot who want to divide us. Liberty. And yes, this is still a country in God we trust. And to give to the needy and clothe the hungry and the downtrodden. This we do in honor of them, and that is our contract. Third and final, Memorial Day is a call to action. You know, through history, military history, bugle calls were used to signal or announce to the soldiers of the camp something of notice, like taps, which we will hear shortly, reveille. But there was one called boots and saddles. It's the most imperative of all these bugle calls and could be sounded without warning at any time, day or night, signaling the men of the camp to equip themselves and get to their mounts immediately. I can hear it. Can you hear it? This Memorial Day is a bugle call of boots and saddles to hearken action and get involved in our local community, to communicate with our representatives, write letters, make phone calls, speak out, and vote. Thomas Jefferson said, quote, "We in America do not have a government by a majority. We have a government by the majority who participate. All tyranny needs to gain a foothold is for people of good conscience to remain silent. Let's not let the torch of this great experiment be extinguished and those who died for our freedom be in vain." Now, back to my father. He came home to make the best of his life by which he was spared and graciously given life. He loved others, he was committed to serve his community, and kept his contract with his fallen brothers. I later understood this more deeply through my service, and I am faithful to do the same. I will close with a short story. It's unfortunate, but a lot of schools finish before Memorial Day, so many of the kids don't talk about it or study it or really understand what it's about. So I make it a point to try to talk about Memorial Day before school gets out with our cadets. So I gave them an assignment. And this assignment was to ask them to write a short essay on what Memorial Day means to them. And you can imagine I got the full spectrum of responses. But one cadet got it. He understood. He wrote something that I'd like to share with you. It's a very profound thought. He said, "When you see Old Glory on the poles and staffs across this great nation, and at cemeteries overseas, at sacred battlegrounds, remember it's not the wind that makes it wave. It's the last breath of thousands of men and women who gave themselves for our liberty and freedom." Wow. I started tearing up, actually. But in closing, love, promises kept, and a call to action this Memorial Day. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America is my prayer.
The Bookshelf in Tullahoma is the fundraising arm of the Coffee County Literacy Council. Since 1988, the Literacy Council's goal and purpose has been to support and promote adult basic education in Coffee County. We enable individuals to complete their high school equivalency exam, which helps them get better jobs or continue into higher education. The Bookshelf at 114 Southwest Atlantic Street in Tullahoma is where we sell used books which are donated to us by the community. Come see us, bring your books to donate, and join us as you find every genre of books that you can imagine.
MacArthur Manor Assisted Living is passionate about creating better experiences for our Manchester seniors. Our residents describe us in a few words.
Welcoming.
When you walk through the doors at MacArthur Manor, we'll treat you like family.
Caring.
Through high standards of personalized care, we help residents live life to its fullest.
Engaging.
With a wide range of life-enriching activities, there is something for everyone at MacArthur Manor. With our residents and staff now vaccinated, call us today to schedule your safe and personalized tour.
I had a knee replacement, so they've got me in life care, which I'm very, very thankful for. I couldn't garden, I couldn't do my flower beds, I can't chase my little dogs. I have been in several therapy sessions for knees and back, and that's the best therapist I believe I've ever been to. It's tremendous because I'm able to walk again, but if it wasn't for the care, I wouldn't be where I am.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
The individuals with dementia, those with Parkinson's, those that have maybe mobility issues, need caregivers. Well, those caregivers are 24 hours a day at home, and they never get a rest. And if they have to go to work, they're kind of out of luck. So that's why Trinity came into existence 25 years ago, to allow the caregivers to have a safe center where they could put their loved ones, know they would be well cared for, stimulated, fed good, nutritious meals, have activities to their level, and then the caregiver can stop by and pick them up and go on home and have some continuity into their life.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and I'm excited and happy this morning to have my friend Jackie Duncan on with us, and it's always good to have Jackie here. He's been an alderman here in Tullahoma. He's still a county commissioner, and a great historian for our area, and can tell all kinds of tales. And Tullahoma's poet laureate right there.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Jackie Duncan.
Thank you, sir. You're quite a poet yourself.
I don't know about that. I don't know if I can come up, Jackie.
Well,
we got on your mind today?
Well, I know a lot of people don't think about it maybe sometimes. And when you've got something right in your face, you just don't think about it. But we've got a national treasure right here in Tullahoma, Tommy Gwynn.
Yeah.
He's got a birthday coming up this week. And it actually, if it's up to me, his birthday is actually Thursday, I believe. His church, Raymond Welch, I talked with him. He's a good friend, right? We worked together for years out at the AEDC. And Raymond and his wife Janice we were talking the other day, and they're going to do a parade again for him. Mm-hmm. This year. Now they did one about 3 years ago or so. His church drove by and I was there, and we had a great time. And just
now that's when he was 100.
That's when he was 100, yes. Now when the virus came along, when signs of coronavirus and everything, he had called me, and this is what is so precious to me, and this is why he's one of my dearest and definitely oldest friends. But I got another friend that's 103 also, but we'll talk about her too some other time. But she's got a birthday coming up. But he was he called me and said that I want to. He said I want to do a big birthday this year. I said, well, we'll work it out. Let's do it. And he thought, well, said for the 4 years that he was in the military, and so he didn't have a birthday party. And, things like this start to resonate. I guess maybe as you get older, you think, when you got all day to sit around and think about things,
Sure.
you can think of a lot of things, So he wanted to have a big party. That's great. We'll do it. And I said I'd get together with the rest of his friends and we'll do something big. Well, he said, call the mayors and everything. So I've already talked to the mayors, the county mayor's office, the city mayor, and the Manchester mayor. And I thought, last time I wanted to give him some recognition, I went as far as, I went out of town, as far as Washington. I sent letters to the president, an email, and of course I never got a response from him, but this was several years ago for the 100th birthday. I also sent one of the representatives, Representative Rose, and from the House of Representatives, he came by the house. He heard about it. I had talked to, I brought the subject up at an organization that he was getting ready to have a birthday. I believe it was Arnold Community Council. And one of the ladies who was on his staff contacted him, and he actually came out and visited him and presented him a certificate. And I thought that was just
wonderful.
so good. That was great. Well,
I bet Tom was tickled.
Oh, he was. And so he loves just the camaraderie.
Yeah.
I was going to say recognition, but he loves the camaraderie.
Oh, yeah.
He just likes people, when you sit around all day, I guess, and you don't see people all the time, and when you see them, it's a blessing.
It's good.
Oh, and he loves it. So anyway,
and he can talk to a body.
He can. And so I told him, I said, we're going to have you a great party this year. And we're going to do something. We're all going to get together, everybody concerned, and just be a blessing this year. Well, he was really up for it. And then the virus hit. And just about right after the virus became very active throughout the world, and we found out actually what they were dealing with, he called me back. And he said that, I've been thinking about it. He said, I don't want nobody to get sick because of me. He said, let's just don't do it. And I said, that was the sweetest message he left on my answering machine. I said, I'll never erase it. He's just, he's a blessing. And a lot of us just don't realize we take things like this for granted, his presence, and there's so much you can do, so much recognition you can give. But if you're truly appreciative of somebody, you'll find other ways to show them.
Sure.
Especially while they're alive, to receive their flowers. And so I check in on him on a regular basis and just want to try to keep up with him, make sure he knows that if you need anything, let me know. I'm available, And I know that he used to love to go to Kroger, and he'd always drive down there, but I think he turned his keys in at 101. I think so. He decided, excuse me, well, I think something must have shown him this in his vision some way, that time to turn the keys in. So
right.
He did. He turned the keys in. So Robert told me, I believe he turned them into him. So
yeah.
Anyway, so he's but the last time I saw him at Kroger, he was shopping down there, and he was in a little cart, one of those little carts, and I took good pictures of him, and it was just a blessing to see him.
Well, what are we getting ready to do for him right now?
Well, we want to do a birthday party for him, and
that's this week.
Actually, they want to do a drive-by. I talked with Raymond and Janice, and their church, I believe, is going to do the drive-by this week. I believe it's Sunday.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure of that. I don't have the time. I know last time it was 2:00, and that went after church, and everything. And so, but we'll make sure the word gets around.
Okay.
I wasn't able to contact Raymond. They've been out of town.
Right.
So anyway, we're going to do that, and what I really want to do to truly be a blessing to him is anybody, if you love your freedom, if freedom is not free, you keep hearing this over and over and over, and that's true. And people expound on that. Freedom is not free. Somebody's died for what little freedom we've got.
We just celebrated.
We celebrated, and we just celebrated this year, right? And I've got a Gold Star family member as well. I've got Blue Star family members, and I don't say much about them, haven't in the past, but they were there, and my grandmother's brother died in France in World War I.
Right.
So, my dad and his brothers all served Air Force, Marines, and Army. And so, but we don't, I guess we don't appreciate it enough to. Life is so fast; it takes us, keeps us moving, and we just can't keep up. But if you really appreciate your freedom, I just want you to write a card, send a birthday card to him. Local people. If we did this locally, that'd be fine. If we could all send anybody that wants to, that appreciates him enough and what he's done. The guy's been wounded 25 times, I believe. Got 13 Purple Hearts and battlefield commissioned, and was a prisoner of war twice, and escaped both times. That's an awesome man.
That's something.
He is awesome.
Hey, we're about out of time
Okay.
now. Can you come back next week?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, because you've got a picture over there, and we need to have some discussion about that.
I'd love to.
And I want you to come back and bring that back next week. Will you do that?
I sure will.
Because we've got a pretty full show, and I wanted to make sure that we got that about Thomas on.
Buddy, I appreciate you so much.
Well, we appreciate you.
Appreciate you guys.
And find out about Thomas Gwynn. There'll be a way to find out.
We want to celebrate the whole month. We want to celebrate.
Month. Okay.
I'm for celebrating the whole month of June. He's worth it.
He's worth it.
He's worth it.
All right. Thank you, Jackie. We'll be back in just a minute.
Thank you, sir.
Clayton's has been Tullahoma's shoe store for over 120 years, and Florence Hall continues that tradition today. We're the only shoe store in town that starts with measuring your foot to make sure you get the perfect fit in a quality shoe. That includes narrow through wide widths for men, women, and children. Clayton Shoes, the family shoe store you'll love.
We're gonna fit your style. We're gonna make you smile. Service and quality at Clayton Shoe Store. We're gonna fit your style.
My husband was diagnosed with a spinal infection. He lost his ability to swallow and the movement of his legs.
I couldn't turn over in bed, I couldn't walk, I couldn't eat.
They were just wonderful in the treatment and care they gave my husband.
I regained my mobility where I was able to go home.
It is miraculous.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat. With John and Pat. With John and Pat.
Hello everyone, I'm John Rickman.
And this is Pat Welch, and we're here to present today the Conversation with John and Pat, the 19th installment.
We're about to get to 20.
We're coasting downhill on it, John.
Pat, you were making mention a while ago of this little tuner that I have, and it's a great little device to keep your guitar in tune. And since I changed strings the other day just for this segment, I wanted to show folks that because you seem to be intrigued.
I am intrigued with it, John, and those that think that Chapel Hill may be a little bit limited in accepting technology need to take note of that.
Yes.
It'd be similar to the first person from Chapel Hill to get on a commercial airplane, probably.
Well, you can put it on a cell phone now and tune your guitar by a cell phone today. But I want to we've got a segment here I think everybody's going to be interested in, and it's in regard to University of Tennessee and a family that was well recognized there. Well, wish I was on top of Rocky Top down in the Tennessee hills. Ain't no smoggy smoke on Rocky Top, ain't no telephone bills. Once two strangers climbed on Rocky Top looking for a moonshine still. Strangers ain't come down from Rocky Top, reckon they never will. Rocky Top, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old Rocky Top, Tennessee. Rocky Top, Tennessee. Rocky Top, Well, Mr. Cord there, but who cares?
It's unnoticed.
I believe it was noticed.
With Pat Head Summit's celebration of life service last night, that was done, and John, it was probably done better by you then than maybe some in the crowd.
I appreciate the comment, though. Yeah. Flattery is always helpful.
That's exactly right, and it will get you further than some people think it will. Yeah.
Oh, mate.
Where are you headed, John? I want to remind you, you brought by a book.
I brought by a book because I won it. I'm a winner, you know.
Absolutely, just like Coach Bryant. Nothing but.
But I used to live next door to a fellow named Mr. Orville Finney out on Blue Creek Road. And Mr. Finney, I used to help him on the farm a little bit when I was younger and wanting to do things like that. So Mr. Finney one day casually mentioned that Shirley Majors used to cut hair with him up in Tullahoma in the same barber shop. And the question was by who was the TSSAA man back at that time. But anyway, he came to Rotary and spoke, and he asked Ronnie Carter, and he said, now if anybody can answer this question, you'll get one of these books. Well, I answered that question, and everybody in Rotary is pretty astounded that I knew the answer. And I was astounded too.
I remember. You and I can show out in Rotary, it does astound them, John.
That's exactly right. Go ahead, Pat.
Well, John took the book by my wife's place of work, and which was awful nice of him, because he knew that once I got it, that it would engross me for about 3 or 4 days, and he was in deference to my wife. She knew the same effect was going to happen, and if I wasn't going to clean any dishes or make any beds or participate in any kind of family life, she could have held that book from me, but she was nice enough to let me look at it. And it was incredible. It covered the history of the TSSAA, which is what Tennessee Secondary School Athletic Association, that has governed Tennessee high school sports, I believe, since the very early 1900s. And it was divided in segments of history and so forth, and it was divided into successful coaches, and it had just a lot of local history in it. And one of them, of course, would have been the Majors family, that they would have had 5 boys and a daughter. And Coach Majors, Shirley Majors, was the father, and his wife's name was Elizabeth, but I believe she went by John. So they had the husband's name Shirley and the wife's name John. And I think you said that there was
I wrote a little song one time. Stoney Jackson shared that tidbit with me, and I wrote a little song called Papa named Shirley and a mama named John. I won't bore you with that song, but that's...
Well, Coach Majors, Shirley Majors, was a barber, as you've already pointed out, and he, during the World War II periods, at least, he cut hair in the old Harton Arcade, which would have been right off of Jackson Street. And wasn't long ago, his family was raised in Lynchburg, or he raised his family in Lynchburg and Huntland. And Coach Majors, being John Majors, periodically visits both places in Tullahoma to visit friends. And I got to be with a group of maybe 10 guys that ate lunch downtown with him, and it was really, really interesting. And he said that during Camp Forest days, when we had 60, 70,000 troops being trained at near what's now the Arnold Indian Development Center, that these soldiers would come in on Saturday to get their hair cut, and for at that time would have been a really high price for like $1. He'd cut the hair and give them a shave, and the chair was full all day long. He made probably more money then than he at least Johnny Major said he made more money then than he did when he was anytime he was coaching. And they'd bring the 5 boys would come with him some, and he'd give them enough money to get 1 Coke, I think, and see 2 movies at a time, and they just talked on and on and on about how fun life was at that time. Philip, why don't you put that picture up? That picture's then Coach Shirley Majors is on the right. Now he, of course, when he retired, he was the head coach at the University of South in Swanee, and had some extremely successful teams. I believe he had 2 or 3 undefeated teams. And if you going opposite the way you normally read from right to left, the first gentleman is his oldest son, which I think that was his senior year at Huntley. That would be Johnny Majors, or John Majors, that was the head coach at UT for so long. Next to him is Joe Majors, who was a quarterback at Florida State. The next one is Bill Majors, who was an assistant coach until an extremely untimely death that we'll talk about maybe at some point, and we don't have enough time today. And I believe that was his 8th grade year. And then next to him is Larry Majors, who was the smallest of the crew when he was, after he had grown, and he played for his daddy at Swanee and was a real successful player. And then the youngest on the far left is Bobby Majors, who was probably the best athlete of them all and was the biggest of them all. I can remember he was 44, played in the late 60s. And John, I think when they punted to him, there wasn't anybody in the open field that could catch him. He could make at least one guy miss almost
I'll tell you
every
my
time.
little tale. Tommy Allen and I went to see Penn State and Tennessee play at Neyland Stadium, and Lydell Harris and Franco Harris and Lydell Mitchell were 2 of the running backs for Penn State, and they were highly rated in the country. And that ball would be punted to Bobby Majors, and the most beautiful wall would be set up, and he would read and dart and dash through or around, whatever. It was amazing, that game. They won 31-11 that day, and it was UT's heyday.
I'm not too sure that wasn't the first night game at Neyland Stadium, too, John. That was a really, really big deal. Penn State being an intersectional powerhouse. And
we're going to come back and do a little bit about the Majors family at another segment, but we've been told that we need
to cut it
speed it up a little bit here.
All right. Well, I guess we'll have to shut down the 19th installment now then, John.
Well, I'm going to continue with a little bit more Rocky Top on the next segment 20, so we don't lose continuity.
Right, and kind of celebrate the meeting segment number 20. That's not the end of the conversations. We'll take this place by storm if we have to finish this segment up. Number 20 is coming.
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat. With John and Pat. With John and Pat.
What does caring look like? This is what caring looks like.
This is setting an example for others.
This is rising to the challenge.
This is doing what works.
This is doing my part.
This is doing your part.
Each of us individually.
Acting as one. Keeping your distance, no matter how awkward it may seem.
This is wearing a mask.
Over your nose and mouth. Like we are.
Keeping our distance.
Each wearing masks.
Not under your chin.
Not above your head. Not in your hand.
But over your nose and mouth.
This is listening to the expert. If you'll just
wear one of these.
Caring makes community.
And this is what caring looks like.
until COVID-19 is no longer a threat. Until COVID-19 is no longer a threat.
Until COVID-19 is no longer a threat.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
I feel like we're safe at Parkview.
There's somebody on staff all the time. So if you need help, help is there.
We are surrounded with people that are looking after us and taking care of us.
The staff is wonderful and always available. We feel so safe and secure here.
I feel safe at Parkview all the time.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No two visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, folks, if you're wondering why the hat is on, widen this video right here and let's see what Mr. Woody Bedford, I couldn't be completely run out of my own studio. He comes in with a hat like that, I figure I better get mine.
Hey. All right.
How you doing, buddy?
Doing fabulous.
How was the past weekend?
Oh, marvelous. Marvelous. Lynchburg had a real good crowd, and they had a fantastic Memorial Day service on the square.
Good.
At Memorial Day, and now we're up for the next hurdle.
What's up? What's next?
Frontier Freedom Days.
Frontier Freedom Days.
If you're interested in Frontier Freedom Days, we're going to talk about it, but the main thing is lynchburgtn.com for the schedule. We'll get that, lynchburgtn.com. You get the schedule. And it's fantastic.
Do you still have any, are you still selling spaces or requesting for vendors and stuff like that?
I think that's pretty well done.
All of that stuff's done.
That's pretty well done. Right now, what we're looking for is people who want to come play. They can come play Friday afternoon. We got Fox Creek Amusement Company. They're going to have at least 4 and probably 5 adult rides. They've got some fantastic kiddie rides. They were here several years ago. They've gotten bigger. And one of the things that we invited them back, very clean.
Yeah, good.
Very, very clean carnival. The other thing is well maintained. And having some maintenance experience on different things in the Coast Guard and the Navy.
It's very important.
It's very important. It's well maintained. So we're up and running. We're going to have, they're going to be Friday night about 5.
You sure
Saturday
you know
4,
how to operate that thing?
No, sir. And that's only by necessity because I don't have a printer. Sometimes necessity is the mother of invention.
There you go.
But we have pony rides at Petting Zoo down in the park. Again, on Friday, that's going to start at 5 in the afternoon. There'll be music on the square. Jim and Joy from Mulberry, Tennessee are doing the music Friday night. And I guarantee you It's going to be fun. They have quite a repertoire, lots of music venues. They get in and out, sing-alongs, dance-alongs. This will be fantastic.
Now, we advertise, excuse me, we advertise the Caboose.
They play there often.
And she sends me, Lori sends me who's playing on Friday night, and that name is familiar.
Yeah, they're a great time.
Yeah, good.
Okay, well, then we're going to shift over Saturday morning, about 10 o'clock. Kids 10 and under can line up at 10 a.m. in front of the old jail. The kids will make 2 laps around the courthouse, then a free visit to the jail museum. So if the kids want, we're going to have a kiddie parade.
You ever been in that jail?
Yes.
I have too.
Yes. We can talk about stories in that little jail.
Yeah, no, we're not going to tell those stories.
When I was Yatal, while it was still a county jail. Yeah. But that'll be 10 in the morning. The Chamber of Commerce auction, which is always a big thing. Right now, she's got 80 plus items lined up for the auction, and this includes trips, gift baskets, shirts,
cakes and pies.
And I don't think we got cakes and pies in this auction, but there's a truckload of gravel. And
you know what?
Believe me, it ain't going cheap.
Let me tell you what. It always amazes me when people have auctions. They'll get a load of gravel. That's one of the things that's the most wanted thing that's in the auction is a load of gravel.
Well, I can guarantee you it ain't going cheap because I want it. I got a gravel driveway. I want it. But they've got lots of things. We've got Newton Nissan South is a sponsor. All 3 of the Jack Daniel and the American Craft Distillery, Lynchburg Winery are in here.
I don't guess you can give any of that stuff in a basket or anything, can you? Or can you?
Yeah.
Legally, I mean,
legally,
I don't.
Yes, we're doing it.
So you can have you can auction off a basket full of wine, different types of wines and stuff. That's great.
One caveat.
What's that?
Have your ID.
Yeah, well, of course.
If you got your ID, you're 21, you can have it.
There you go.
Okay,
I love it.
We can fix that right up. But that's going to be fun. We've got live music on the square. It's starting about 12. We've got cloggers at different times. Kaylee Matthews will be there at 12. That's by Lynchburg Harley. The Midtown Cloggers will be after them about 2. The cutest dog and goat contest. This is one of my favorite parts of Frontier Freedom Days.
Are the dogs and the goats in the same contest, or is there a goat contest and a dog contest?
There's a goat contest and a dog contest.
Because I don't know if some of those little hopping goats and stuff, they'd be hard to beat.
They are. So they're 2 different contests. Best trick. Little story about how you got your pet. There'll be some other categories. I think there'll be a couple other categories. But dress your dog or goat up and come on in. And you remember that big Belgian mare I had?
Yes.
Yeah, she won longest tail one year.
I figured it was probably one that you told won longest tail.
No, my dogs don't bark. They wear iron shoes. But we've got more live music with Cecil Shields. About 4 o'clock, all the activities will fire up down in Wiseman Park, again with Fox Creek Amusement Company, petting zoo, all of that's going on. Just for Clicks will be up on the square dancing. We'll have live music on Saturday evening from Yesterday's Wine. They're pretty good. I like them. And the grand finale.
That's Troy and Marty Scott and that bunch. They're good. They're real good.
And the grand finale, 9 o'clock, fireworks. And these are professional fireworks.
Right.
And they're up on a hill on the south side of town, back up there, so they get it real good up over. Beautiful. Every year it's just gorgeous.
That's outstanding.
Hey.
And this is a free event.
Yes.
You don't have to pay to go in there.
Now, Fox Creek Amusement You get a $15 armband.
Well, yeah, but I mean the whole thing
wide open. Come join.
Is a free thing.
Yes.
You can come. You don't have to pay to get a ticket to participate.
No, just show
Unless
up.
you want to ride a ride.
Yeah, just show up. You know, there'll be vendors around the courthouse.
Right.
And we're going to have food. The Methodist ladies are making fried pies. There's
Corn
other
roaster
things.
going to be there?
I would think so.
Yeah,
they're there. The fire department's corn. I would think so. I haven't talked to them.
Is Seymour going to be there?
Oh, absolutely. Seymour and Duke and I are going to be there now.
Yeah, there ain't no doubt.
There ain't no doubt. Seymour and Duke and I are going to be there. Yeah.
So that's when?
June 10th and 11th.
June 10th and 11th.
June
so
10th
it's
and 11th.
just right around the corner.
Yes, sir. LynchburgTN.com. LynchburgTN.com. And if you do Facebook,
LynchburgTN.com.
And if you do Facebook, long name, Metro Lynchburg Moore County Chamber of Commerce.
Gotcha.
Type it in once and you're there.
You're there. Woody Bedford, thank
John,
you.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah. Hey, Seymour, thank you for bringing him. I know he probably couldn't have found his way without you. Appreciate you.
He's my adult supervision.
All right, folks. We'll be back after these messages.
I got a tour and I saw all the things and I was so excited about them. And she took me to the movie theater and it had red chairs. So this is a done deal and I like it.
We have so many activities here that you just can't keep up with them all. We have exercise, we have coloring, we have crafts.
It's charming, it's attractive, it's very comfortable. It was one of the best decisions of my life.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He does the work of 2 jobs, but only gets paid for one. He's tough enough to feed the man that gave him a lifetime of nourishment. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. That's right. No employee of the month bonus check here. This guy, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. Good luck finding a gym to train for that. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
I was skeptical about getting the COVID-19 vaccine. There are a lot of opinions being shared. But I had the chance to talk with my doctor about my concerns. He told me the vaccines are backed by decades of research, and that the vaccines are proven safe and effective. Now I'm protected and ready to put this pandemic behind us. Join the millions of Tennesseans who have decided to give COVID-19 vaccines a shot. Visit covid19.tn.gov to find an appointment today.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, folks, we're back, and what I want to do here, see this right here? You remember this? This is a poppy. This is an American Legion poppy, and it's time for the poppy sale, but we can't go stand on the roads like we used to for years. The roads are too busy and fear for someone getting hurt. So the American Legion Auxiliary, of course, Diane Robinson is the poppy chairman and Roxy Hoots is the president, would like for you to realize that you can support the veterans. All the money from this goes to take care of veterans at the Veterans Hospital. And you can support that by sending your check, your donation, to the American Legion Auxiliary, P.O. Box 212. That's P.O. Box 212, Tullahoma, Tennessee. And just like the other things that you feel passionate about your veterans and the poppy sale, and send them a donation. You have some extra money, I guarantee you the veterans can use it, and these ladies know how to buy blankets and things that they need and take to the Veterans Hospital for them. So make sure you send a check to the American Legion Auxiliary, P.O. Box 212, Tullahoma, Tennessee. And with that said, thank you for watching the show. We appreciate you. Please go see our sponsors and tell them that you appreciate them for putting us on the air. And oh, by the way, while you're in there, how about buying something? We're going to close the show today from the outdoor stage at South Jackson Civic Center and Salem Creek.
Goes a little something like this.